Around Ibrahim Karanja concerning Peter Mugure, the suspect in the murder of his wife and 2 children. And he was back in court this morning, appearing before Justice Jairus Nga. Ibrahim Karanja, good morning. Talk to us about what the prosecution said in court when it also comes to witnesses who will be involved, in this trial.
Well, good morning, Brenda. A very interesting turn of events is coming out in this case that involves the pursuit of justice in the triple murder of Joyce Siomboa and her 2 children, Shanice Maua and Prince Michael. We have seen today before Justice Jairus Nga, the High Court here in Nyeri, the prosecution bringing out some very, very interesting sort of allegations and tabling them before the judge. We saw actually the prosecution say that they have 26 witnesses lined up to testify against Major Peter Mugure, the ex-army man, who is the main suspect or the prime suspect in the murder of the 3 people. And the 26 witnesses is what the prosecution led by Central Region Assistant Director of Public Prosecution Peter Mailanyi are expected to use to testify against Mugure. And the judge, Jairus Nga, actually ruled that the prosecution should actually sort of furnish the defense counsel with all this information even before they set the date for the hearing that will happen. However, Justice Jairus Nga has adjourned this appearance of Major Peter Mugure to 30th, and on 30th there are several issues that are expected to be tabled before court and several directions to be given by the judge. And the main reason as to why this particular session today was adjourned to the 30th, that is next week, is because of a very serious allegation that has been tabled in court by the prosecution. They say that on the 6th of January 2020, that the sister to the prime suspect, Major Peter Mugure, visited Kerugoya GK prison, where the second accused in this particular case, that is Collins Pamba, who's accused to having abetted this particular triple murders, that the sister to Mugure visited Pamba at Kerugoya GK prison and tried to convince him to recount his statement, the statement that he made that sort of implicated Major Peter Mugure, who is the prime suspect. Remember, the 2 suspects were being held in 2 separate prisons for this main reason, that if they were held in one prison or if they were detained at one place, then they might actually tamper with the evidences. But it now appears, even with the fact that the 2 are being detained at 2 different prisons, with Major Peter Mugure being detained at the Nyeri Maximum Prison, popularly known as Kingongo Prison, and Collins Pamba, the co-accused, being detained at the Kerugoya GK prison, it appears that still there are attempts to tamper with evidence or tamper with statements that have been made, as was the fear of the prosecution. It now is reported that the sister to Major Peter Mugure visited the co-accused Collins Pamba at the Kerugoya GK prison on the 6th of January and tried to convince him to recount his statement, and actually say that he made that particular statement after being tortured by police officers. And that is something that has been presented in court, and actually the prosecution is expected to file an affidavit on the 30th, even as the judge, Justice Jairus Nga, will also get to listen to the bail application in this particular case. Remember, the prosecution will now use this particular new development, to try and block the bail application for Major Peter Mugure. They have grounds in saying that he tried to tamper with evidence, and thus we sort of deny or sort of block why he should be granted bail. It is a case that the judge also says that on that 30th is when he'll actually name a date where the hearings will start. But as is right now, 26 witnesses are scheduled to
All right, we do apologize for that technical hitch you're getting from Nyeri County, but you were speaking to a reporter, Ibrahim Karanja, when it comes to the case that is facing Peter Mugure, the suspect in the murder of his wife and 2 children. What you've heard so far, the Peter Mugure will be back in court on the 30th of this month for that case trial, and also the 26 witnesses have been lined up by the prosecution team so as to testify against Peter Mugure.